Question number 12, Kevin Hague. Order. Again, a level of interjection coming from members on my right-hand side is to cease. Kevin Hague.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Conservation and asks, does she stand by her statement, "We are doing everything we can to protect the Maui's dolphin"?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
On behalf of the Minister of Conservation, yes.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Kevin Hague.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. How is the government doing everything it can to protect Maui's dolphins when the Minister for Energy, as part of Block Offer 2016, has just proposed new oil and gas exploration in 22% of the Maui's dolphin sanctuary, where at least 14 reliable Maui's sightings have been made?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Conservation, we have a layered and sophisticated Maui dolphin protection mechanisms in place. They range from the core of the marine mammal sanctuary, and they have protection for trawling, for set netting and seismic activity. We also are very focused on protecting Maori dolphins in terms of seismic activity, and we have world best practice protective regulations in seismic work within the marine mammal sanctuary and require compulsory adherence to the Seismic Code of Conduct within the EEZ legislation.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Kevin Hague.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can the Minister explain how doing everything it can is consistent with the government introducing additional risks to Maui's dolphins, such as exploratory oil drilling, as these permits will likely require, given that there are fewer than 55 Maui's dolphin left in the world?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the Minister of Conservation, as I've said, we are very focused on protecting Maui dolphins, and we do not believe that we are increasing that risk because we have world's best practice protective regulations for the seismic work. Inside the mammal sanctuary and outside it, we have compulsory adherence to Seismic Code of Conduct.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Kevin Hague.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is there any way she can possibly guarantee that new drilling won't cause a spill and cause harm to the critically endangered Maui's dolphin that it is her job to protect?
Order. The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Mr. Speaker, as I have said, we have a layered and sophisticated protection for Maui dolphins. They cover the most important threats to dolphins, which are trawling and set netting, and it's important to note that there has been no deaths from fishing since 2002. We also have ongoing research, the very best local and international research, and this year we are going to be introducing sea pods, which actually listen to the dolphins and make sure that we can identify their exact range and their exact frequency. We believe that will protect our dolphins.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Kevin Hague.
Mr. Speaker, my question asked about the risk associated with oil drilling, a point that was not addressed even slightly by the Minister's answer.
The question was the question was, is there any way the Minister can guarantee a situation? Well, clearly a Minister can't guarantee a situation, and certainly, order, the member did ask that in his question. The question's without doubt been addressed. Further supplementary?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I agree with your analysis of the answer.
Supplementary question, Kevin Hague.
Supplementary question. If she, as Minister of Conservation, has the opportunity to prevent oil drilling and seismic surveys in the Maui's sanctuary, will she take it?
Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Conservation, I am not convinced that there are risks to Maui dolphins because we have the world's best practice regulations within the sanctuary, and we also have compulsory adherence to the EEZ legislation.
Speaker.
Point of order, Kevin Hague.
Mr Speaker, I seek leave to table a map prepared by the Green Party's Parliamentary Office today, which indicates the Maui's sightings in the area of the proposed block offer.
Mr Speaker, that information is very readily available through other reports.
Mr Speaker,
but I will put the leave sought to table that particular map. Is there any objection? Yes. There is objection. And that concludes...
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order, Tracy Martin.
Mr Speaker, can I ask you to reflect on an incident that happened here today with regard to my colleague Ria Bond? I'd like you to have a look at the way that Ms Bond was treated by the House during her attempt to answer questions that she has every right to answer, and also about some of the sexist remarks that were made by Mr Joyce in particular with regard to comment about sweet pea and so on and so forth. If you could have a look at the tape and perhaps just reflect on how in the future we might be able to treat women with more dignity in this House.
Order.
Speaking of the point of order.
Order. I will hear from the Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr Speaker, I think it might be a good idea if you were able to look at the tape proceedings. I know that you do regularly have a look and see just how things are going and how members are faring. I'd also ask you to listen very carefully to that tape and perhaps indicate to some others in the House how you feel about it, because there was most certainly an unparliamentary remark made that was addressed to you. I accept that it's your choice to act on that or not. But I think there has been a few fractious moments, and perhaps Ms Martin's idea is not such a bad one.
No, I don't need any further assistance from it. I don't need any further assistance, but I thank members for offering their assistance. I normally take the time to certainly go very carefully through the Hansard and review the situation to see some of the rulings that I have made. I, on this occasion, will look at the tape. I don't normally bother, but I am aware of a very unsatisfactory remark that was made across the House that I didn't hear at the time, that if I had heard would have led to a very severe situation, being reprimanded. There is a lot of interjection occurring from the House, particularly in the far corners of the House, that may get picked up on the microphones and displayed publicly via the TV system that are not heard by me as Speaker. So I think members need to be aware of that, but I just warn all members that some comments made in the heat of the moment and some of the language used at the heat of the moment is totally unparliamentary, and it must cease. Point of order, the Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, I just feel the need to respond to the comment from my colleague on the other side of the House, because she's incorrect and she's misheard, and I think for the benefit of the House, I'd like to make the point that the comment I actually made was in reference to Mr Mark, and it was sweary beer was what I was saying, which I've said before. So please, I did not make the comment that Tracy suggests I did.
Order. I've said to the House I'll review the tape. I think that's the most appropriate way forward, and after reviewing the tape, I'll then decide whether any further action is required. That concludes questions for oral answer. I call on government orders of the day, number 1 and 2.